Red Bull, it gives you wings. But you already knew that. The company is hugely successful, selling 6.8 billion cans of Red Bull in 2018 alone. The company was founded in 1984 in Austria and has expanded into way more than just an energy drink. They're in the industries of skateboarding, climbing, bouldering, ice skating, soccer, freestyle soccer, well, a lot of stuff. From the sheer size of the company, I just assumed right off the bat that they wouldn't be the greatest for the environment. But when I checked Red Bull's website, I was pleasantly surprised to see the opposite. They had a whole page dedicated solely to sustainability. The first thing mentioned is their aluminum can, which they say is 100% recyclable. They also acknowledge that they're not perfect and strive to cut their CO2 emissions by 11,000 tons every year. Their facilities run mainly on renewable energy sources, and they have a unique wall-to-wall production process, which means they produce everything in central buildings, saving tons of CO2 emissions from transportation. So, to conclude, Red Bull's pretty great. End of story. But there may be a bit of a problem with the source I use. It's Red Bull's website, so they probably want to make themselves look good. So I figured I'd just go online, search Red Bull sustainability, and see what comes up. Absolutely nothing. The only things I could find are websites complaining about how little Red Bull gives to us on the subject. One website called Rank a Brand ranks brands on their environmental sustainability, and they gave Red Bull their lowest grade. The reason for this was Red Bull's lack of transparency. They acknowledged that Red Bull claims to do all these great things, but there's just no evidence for it. The only part of the product that could really be traced was the can, which Red Bull seemed pretty happy about. Red Bull just instructs their customers to recycle their cans when they're done, and no harm to the environment. But that would require people actually recycling. In the US, only half of aluminum cans are actually recycled. The rest are just thrown in landfills. Red Bull isn't doing much better on their part either. They were even sued by the Environment Agency of London for, quote, failing to meet its requirements to recover and recycle packaging waste for 8 years between 1999 and 2006, and for failing to register with them as a producer of packing waste, end quote. It doesn't seem to be looking too good for Red Bull now. They may claim to do some good stuff, but where's the evidence? The only evidence we have is of them, well, not recycling. Before taking on this assignment, I did not know much about Red Bull. I've never even drank one before. And after putting some research into it, I think it's going to stay that way. I was initially impressed by what Red Bull claimed to do, but it didn't take long for my oblivious bliss to go away. I've really come to respect companies that put out information to the public. Even if the information isn't great, it's infinitely better than nothing. The one thing I learned from this project is that you cannot fully trust what a company says about their own product. I recommend to everybody to go and look online and see where your product is actually coming from, using sources that isn't the company's. So is Red Bull an environmentally conscious corporation? Well, there's as much evidence for that as there is for Red Bull actually giving you wings.